Listen, I know y'all seen yesterday, my guy, Thugger. Listen, one of the most quality,
It was so good.
one of the most quality pieces of content that I have seen in a long time. I'm not exaggerating. That shit was amazing. The way that Big Bang conducted that interview, let Thug get off all of his shit, because at first I was like, God damn, this nigga
He said
talking in
he talking
circles.
more.
Yeah, he talking more, he talking in circles, but as it went on, I was like, this nigga really got some shit that he want to get off. And Big Bang sat there and he let that nigga talk. He didn't interrupt. He let him get it off, and then he asked him tough questions. This was not no cupcake, no pushback type shit. No, this nigga asked about the inconsistencies. He asked about thought processes. He basically told the nigga, grow up. None of this shit don't mean nothing, nigga. At the end of the day, you was blessed with a second chance. Why the fuck you came out of jail acting crazy? He really was on some OG vibes type shit, trying to get Thug to understand, but allowing a young nigga to be a young nigga and get his shit off. I definitely appreciated that shit. It couldn't have went no better. Right? I think if you watched that and you were objective, then you probably left with a better understanding of what Thug was doing and why he was doing certain shit. Cause I definitely did. But I wanted to know how y'all felt about that shit.
I thought it was so
Know how y'all felt if
hilarious.
y'all see.
I didn't watch
There
the
were some
whole
funny ass
thing
spots.
through, but it was some clippable moments, man. I just keep, eh, baby, please. I just keep telling my son, I be like, I made you. Well, God made you. But I helped. Okay. Man, I think that honestly, it takes a certain kind of person that when you do like sit down and like tell your own story, that it's palatable and like it does give people a better level of understanding instead of like doing the opposite. And I think that is what that did. Cause I felt them. I felt a lot of the stuff he was saying. I was like, oh, okay, okay. I mean, I could see that. I think there is something to be said for the whole, like, everyone turning his life into memes and jokes. And he was like, no, I was in that freaking cell, like, fighting for my life, and that's not really something all y'all can relate to. All y'all are regular civilian people that will never have that experience or know, like, the kind of headspace that you'll be in when stuff like that happens. So I give him a pass for being a little chatty patty. I do. I think I forgive him.
Uh, nah, I didn't go that far. But go ahead, Memphis. I want to see
Okay.
how you felt.
Oh man, listen. What I got from that interview is we all a little fucked up, G. Like, I understood him. I understood him a lot better than I thought I would. And some of them principles he hold on to, I'm not a street bitch. And I have those same principles. So when I say I literally was sitting there like, damn, we all a little fucked up. We all need to kind of rid ourselves of that type of loyalty and bond and street culture, because it don't leave you nowhere but hurt. And to see that man cry, even though he kept putting them glasses back on, but that man sat up there and cried. I ain't never think I'd see that. Like, it
It was
really,
so
really,
real.
it really, really made me soften to him. When those jail calls were actually making me be like, what the fuck is this nigga on?
I think that it was clear to me that them niggas need to have a conversation, because they playing telephone as far as, somebody saying something, then they getting it somewhere else. Because there was a few parts where Thug was just absolutely wrong. Gunna didn't take the first plea. That's just not factual, right? I think it was DK first, or and somebody else, but Gunna didn't do it. That's not facts, right? So that was one. But when he was explaining the Pee Wee Roscoe shit, I gotta revise my stance. I don't think that Thug snitched. I think I get what he was saying, right? Because they're saying that Pee Wee and Wayne are beefing, and Thug was in there saying, "No, Pee Wee sell this nigga weed, as in these niggas are cool. Why would he be selling this nigga weed if they beefing?" I don't think that that's snitching. So I did have to revise my point or my stance on that. He added some clarity. He talked about the fact of, telling the woman officer that he was going to give the number to her. He said he was just flirting. Listen, Thug ain't never lied to me. I just take him on at his word, right? If he was flirting, there was another situation. What was the other situation? Um,
Hold on, before we talk about the another situation, can I intervene on the Gunna shit?
Go
The
ahead.
Gunna and the plea. So there's nuance here. The nuance is if Duke and Yak don't have the situation where Yak tells on Duke, you don't get the racketeering. They don't get the racketeering charge. They only get their aggravated assault and the firearm. So yes, technically they did take the first plea. But if they don't never have the snitching part of their situation, then they don't get the first plea. You get what I'm saying? Because their
Yeah.
charge was never racketeering. So when he says that Gunna took the first racketeering charge, Gunna was already charged with racketeering. That was his only charge. So do you get the nuance in that?
Yeah, I get it.
And so he's not wrong. He didn't not say it right. He said it exactly right.
But he also said that the plea, Gunna would have took the stand, which in Gunna's plea, it says that none of the stuff can be used against anybody in the case. Out of all of those,
It's
like Thug said,
at
out of
the
all the,
bottom of that plea. It says that he could be called to testify, and he has the right to assert his Fifth Amendment and not self-incriminate.
yeah, and so that is language, legal language.
It
But
is, but it's
the truth
legal
is,
language
he
that
wasn't
could
gonna
be
do that,
used.
huh?
It's still it's regular normal legal language, but it still could be used.
But what
It's
I'm
there
saying is,
because it still can be pulled. It still can
but what I'm
be
saying
done.
is, if anything could have been used in that case, they would have brought it up, right? And they never even did in the case, like throughout the whole shit, because it was really nothing there in the first place. And so that's where I feel like, Gunna did want to get home. He was tired of sitting in that jail cell eating that food. But at the end of the day, there was nothing there. They just wanted to embarrass him. But I don't think that would have made them go to jail. But let's get Hotep in here. Hotep, what's the word? How you feeling?
What's the word, Rashad? You good? You hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Happy Sunday to everybody. What's going on,
Hi,
everybody? Hope
Hotep.
everybody's good. What's up? What's up? What's up with it? So yo, check. I'm not gonna lie. This is the most humanized I've seen Young Thug. And like you said, Big Bank carried this interview very, very well. I appreciate that he didn't throw like those soft punches just to keep, Thug in his good graces and shit like that. He like, nah, bro, you was wilding on some shit. But I do want to speak to a couple things. One, the first set of questions, the Lil Jeff segment, that spoke to me. Not gonna lie, as I have friends who are trench babies, just like Thug and shit like that, and being one of 11, and his aunt not wanting them around, and the first memories he had with his brother burning down the apartment, the first sign of betrayal of the aunties, the first happy moment of him moving out of the projects, like his brother dying in front of him, and him blaming his brother's friend and all this other shit. And like, that was a real eye opener to just, speak to his background. And it does when he's talked about, like, he never really sat down with his feelings ever. He said he blames God for like keeping him happy all of the time. That also spoke to me because him sitting in that cell was probably the first time he was ever sat down with his own feelings and his own thoughts. And he talked about, I can't talk to Savage and them on the phone like this, because who know, if I talk to my brother, like he say on the phone, the judge just body slammed me. I had a terrible day in court, And then if I hop on the motherfucking line and my nigga talking about drills and all this other shit, nigga, on a recorded line, that might fuck my case up even further. Like, so I'm going to talk to Mariah. And I already told y'all, when I've taken jail calls pretty much my entire teen and adult life. You feel me? I always get an inmate call from somebody or whatever. So knowing all of that, this nigga was dead ass. This is the first time he said, this is the first time I've ever pillow talked or, expressed my feelings in this way. Cause this nigga has always been like, I guess, a happy go lucky hood nigga. You feel me? So I did lend a little bit more credence, to that part. But when it came down to, I think Ishu was just talking about it, I was blown the fuck away that this shit it started off with illegal possession of a firearm and driving without a license. And now, because this nigga Yak said what he said, now we dealing with racketeering. Now we dealing with a RICO. You could have just took that motherfucking charge or whatever and all of that. Like he said, I guess the nigga Duke ran and he stayed in the car and all this other shit. I didn't even watch the whole thing yet. So I'm definitely gonna be hearing things that I didn't hear yet. But for that small ass shit, as far as street shit goes, that's some small ass shit. For two niggas to get booked and then it ends up with 30 niggas on a RICO, my nigga, off of just a note driving without a license and a possession of a firearm. You told the police that y'all was gonna go kill some niggas. Like, why the fuck would you do that, nigga? Like, what the hell? And so that's where I'm at with it. I felt that shit was absolutely insane.
What happened, I think that it started with Woody and then that trickled down to Duke getting beat up in Magic. Because I think that because he said Woody started it all. Woody stole Nut jewelry out the car. And then he called Nut and was like, somebody else stole your jewelry, but I got it back for you. And then
also, since I got some down south people here, and am I hearing the name right? Umfu?
Umfunk.
Umfunk.
Yeah. Umfunk. Yeah.
Because I was hearing that and I'm like, what is he saying? Is that an
Baby,
African name?
listen, they got
Listen,
the weirdest nicknames in Atlanta, baby. Them nicknames is something different.
That's how we get out. But yeah, Woody stole the jewelry. Nut was like, y'all niggas playing, because I guess they found out, and Thug was like, he was trying to calm that shit down, but eventually they was like, nah, we ain't calm that shit down, so they beat up Woody on one time. And I think that all of that, everything started from that instance of Woody breaking into Nut's car and stealing his jewelry. Now niggas dead. That's how him and Lucci start beefing off of that shit, which turned into other people getting killed, which turned into Duke getting beat up. And then Yak, like, it was all because Woody stole the jewelry out the nigga car. And then Thug was like, how the fuck you start this shit with stealing, and then you turn around to be the first nigga to start telling? We was helping you, we giving you money, we putting your family up in hotels, so shit, and you the first nigga to tell? Like, what the fuck is going on here? So I thought that shit was interesting. Go ahead, Mushy, what's the word? How you feeling today on this Sunday?
Yo, good morning, good morning. I got 3 points, my nigga. As a nigga that did 23 and 1, I can understand him talking, but when I was on 23 and 1, when I got on that phone, I'm talking like Casey and JoJo to the girl. I ain't gossiping. I don't want to hear shit about them niggas and shit. That's one. So I understand him, you know what I'm saying, on that shit. It's really pillow talking, like he said. At 23 and 1 to get to a nigga, bro. You sitting in that shit all day with another nigga. Ain't shit y'all can talk about. Or you get the radio, or if you got the bread, get you a TV and look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? 2, I can understand him. I can understand why people calling him a rat with the police interrogation, because my homeboy went through the same thing. His co-defendant got 99 years for murder and shit. And goddamn, the police try to do the same thing to him. Bro, already locked up. They go and get him a little statement or whatever. And goddamn, everybody started calling him a rat and shit. You know what I'm saying? 3, I can understand him with the Gunna shit. And like, you know what I'm saying, his feelings, you know what I'm saying? Cause I got a homeboy that told, you know what I'm saying? And we can't fuck with him no more. Like, he ain't telling on us, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up when you ain't got your people around you no more. Like, in my case, that's why, like, one reason why I got the fuck from where I was at, cause niggas was telling. So it's like, damn, like, you go from this brotherhood You know what I'm saying? And you thinking niggas as real as you, like you said, like nigga, I took you out the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing you don't do. Like as a code, if a nigga put that money in your pocket, that's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I know some people don't understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people that live that civilian life. Like, but if you in it, you in it. You know what I'm saying? If you with me on this shit, nigga, we together. So like when it comes to like an ass situation, like I told my homeboys, he ain't telling you, you still don't want nothing, see nothing happen to him because you got love for him. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't be around the nigga no more. So don't be around here like, oh, this nigga senses. Ain't no need for all that, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just let him go in here, live his life. He did what he wanted. He felt like he had to do. And you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no animosity because you don't want to see him dead, you know what I'm saying? You can see that shit in Thug. Like this shit fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt them on that shit because it fucked me up when I found out that paperwork on my homeboy. So it's like, God damn, dog, like, what the fuck is you doing? You know what I mean? Like, we don't do that shit. Like, we never did that shit. Nobody, like, out of all this, like, you the one who tell. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's hard to see that shit from a nigga that you be with every day. Like, niggas be with, like, niggas know, niggas, the girls always say, oh, you always around your niggas all day. Like that's a brotherhood that people don't, you know what I'm saying, that people have. Like that's how that shit is. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was interesting when he started talking about his mindset versus Gunna's mindset, and where I seen when Thug would go back to the things that he did for people, I seen it as him talking from a place of loyalty, right? And him expecting that loyalty back. So Jig put a comment yesterday. He said Young Thug must have not had a father, because ain't no way you walk around expecting so much out of other men like they your
No, he
daddy.
said he had a
I
dad. Like
I don't
his dad came
yeah,
and
and
picked
I
him
think
up.
that he was saying these things out of like real, like I love these niggas and I am loyal to them, and at every situation I have thought about y'all first, and
Right.
then as
Like
soon as you get into a situation, you think about yourself, and so let's not forget that I thought about you in these instances in which I didn't have to
And
do,
and
and I
look,
think that
yeah,
was like that hit me because it was like, I can feel that.
yeah,
Right,
cause
as
like
opposed to Gunna, where he said, Gunna just think about the next move. He thinking about the next strategy. He thinking about
yeah.
what's gonna make him look good.
Yeah, like me and my niggas started telling each other we love each other at 15 because we had one of our friends died fucking 15 from gun violence and shit. Like niggas don't some people just don't understand that bond. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people like this shit ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like when like when Africans or like when niggas was using spears and shit. What you think they had? Like we all watched Sparta and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas have that motherfucking camaraderie with each other. You know what I mean? And to see a nigga just go against that shit, it's gonna fuck you up.
yeah, and like when it comes down to, can y'all hear me? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. But when it came down to that's the reason why like those first set of questions, that Lil Jeff segment meant so much. Like it really set the foundation of understanding how he thought and how he behaved. Because he talked about, I got, 11 brothers and sisters and stuff like that. But the trauma that I went through, and I don't even want to use trauma like that, but the bullshit that he went through as a kid, it pretty much was like, yo, that's what he said. I used those experiences shaped me to want to find love and camaraderie amongst boys in my community, men in my community, even ladies and shit like that. So when you coming from his pops and his mom's telling him like, yo, y'all don't be as siblings, y'all not supposed to be beefing at all, and all these other things, and how the sleeping arrangements. And so when you go outside, and I can relate to this, like when you go outside, that's like one of the best feelings ever, to have a crew, to have a bunch of kids like that think like you, move like you, and y'all locked in lockstep. Because we know that feeling in the 90s, even on some suburban wholesome shit where we all got our bikes and we 15 deep, 20 deep with our bikes and shit. Like there's no better feeling than that. You can ride your bike on your own, but the fact that I got 18 other niggas with me on bikes and we riding through the neighborhood and shit like that shit feel good. And you will be the butt of the joke. You will, go to the store for niggas. You will, lie for your niggas. You will do all of these things just out of the love for that camaraderie. That shit feels so good. So as an adult doing street shit, you carrying those principles along in the hood. Like nah, I'm not about to throw my nigga under the bus, bro, because I want to be able to kick it with my nigga tomorrow. I want us to be able to click up again when we go to the skating rink or when we go to these different places. You feel me? So that camaraderie, like I can't knock him for it, bro. And like when he talked about, you know, the difference between what he said in the interrogation room and he was just flirting with the cop versus what a nigga like Yak or a nigga like Gunna was saying in there. It's like, yo, I didn't offer these niggas no new information. These niggas know Guwap is a fucking megastar. I just said I wasn't signed to Birdman and I am signed to Guwap.
Hey,
I didn't say Guwap was in any type of street shit. I'm just letting these niggas know. But then you got a nigga like Yak talking about, nah, we was going on our way to a murder. You got niggas like Gunna saying, no, YSL is a criminal enterprise and it needs to be stopped. Those are
when Big Blank said, "What's the difference between you and Yak?" That nigga said, "The difference is Yak was in there telling." Boy, I was like, ah,
like, yo,
bro, that shit was crazy.
man.
Bro, that nigga is just so funny, and he ain't even trying to be. That nigga had some quotables in that bitch. Hold on, let's get to Joe Day
Yo,
real
the
quick.
way he kept taking off and putting on his shades, nigga.
Man, that nigga had me on the floor. Go ahead, Joe Day. What's the word? How you feeling today?
What's going on? Happy Sunday, y'all. I was very much so tapped into all 3 hours, Rashad. Do you hear me? Three of them things. That was a long ass interview. But I enjoyed it like in a major, major, major way. First off, like Hotep, you said when he I knew where he was going because again, I'm big civilian in every sense of the word. I ain't never been in the streets, but I have, as we all do as Black people, you know somebody and or it's close proximity or whatever, right? So when I saw Yak Gotti talking to Thug, it just reminded me of like my cousin and his journey, right? Like he used to have OGs that used to try to do the same thing to him. He didn't do it. And then now he became the OG and he went through getting locked up, and getting locked up in the defense. My cousin got locked up on like gun charges back to back, right? And all of his gun charges was in defense of others, right? And his mentality was, I'm always defending, quote unquote, my brothers. And then when I get locked up, no commissary, no calls, no situations. They ain't really looking out, and it's painful. It is the betrayal. Or he had one time very similarly where there was somebody that he looked out for, and that person ended up being someone that was working with the local police and put his name in something and blah, blah, blah. My problem is this. It's not a problem. It's just something because first off, Jeffrey needed to cry for sure. I don't care. More men need to cry. I tweeted about it because he got a lot of stuff pent up. Jeffrey had a whole daddy. So it says a lot about just like self-esteem and young men in our communities more than just having dads. It's like, cause he had one active father actually. My thing is this, right? Thug is mad and angry and sad. But I also feel like if you have OGs, and that's why the young boy OG relationship is so important when you're in this. And Mushy, give me 100, so I know I'm not talking wrong. You got OGs to keep you aware of this is how this shit go. I know you're gonna be mad. I know you're gonna be sad. I know it's gonna hurt you. But you don't get in the game of criminality thinking that criminals are not people with bad behavior. You get what I'm saying? So to expect blind, extreme, never cross me loyalty from a nigga that crosses people for a living, it's almost kind of like you have to understand that everybody is not you, number one, but also this is what comes with this. I want to know of any of us, anything we ever saw when it comes to some street shit, a hood tale, drug lord stories. It's always someone close. It's always someone close because there's either jealousy. If it's not jealousy, it's they're not as in the situation as you thought they were. And when you have OGs around you, you got people that's gonna say, "Hey, listen, you need to tighten up, or you got to do this, or you got to do that." I think Thug was struggling with a little bit of arrogance. He thought he was the king of the hill for a long time because he was, from what I've been hearing, even in spaces and a lot of people tweeting, Thug was him in Atlanta for several years. He talked a lot about all the people he birthed. I birthed you. Well, God made you, but I helped. And like that, like hearing him say that, it's like, yeah, he was really invested in a lot of people. But to like what Mushy and Hotep and you're saying, Rashad, is like, that be the thing with young Black men. It's like, y'all got to realize there needs to be a even expectation for when you in that shit, there's always that risk. And it's not about not trusting nobody. It's just, you will get your heart broke fucking around thinking that can't happen to you when that's what y'all do on a daily. And I think Thug, that's why I think this interview was so critical. Cause Thug is saying, I'm noticing this shit right now as we talking. Like, I didn't even realize I was still feeling like I just thought it was woo woo woo. He's like, nah, I'm realizing right now. And so I really think like we need more OGs like what's his name, Big Bank, to have conversations like this. And then just being in the mix, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on, but I loved it. I think if it wasn't 3 hours, I would watch it again, but it's too long for me to watch again. But it
I
was a really, really good
I
interview.
th- I
It's
think that
really
one
it's
second,
really it's
Hotep.
a
I think
conver
that
my fault, guys.
that with the OG type shit, right? It's different on that level because more and more niggas respect money,
That's true.
right? And so if I am, 10, 20, $30 million up doing it my way, what can you tell me,
That's
right?
true.
Until you
Mm-hmm.
have a situation like this and where you got to sit your ass down for 3 years and now shit looking shaky when you get out of jail because everything leaked and niggas playing on your name like they
Mm-hmm.
never played before. Now you got to humble yourself and say, you know what? Let me go talk to some niggas now, right? But
Yeah.
when you in it and you up and you having the time of your life and you feel like, can't no niggas say nothing to me, nigga, you broke. Right? That is where the disconnect is, where I think that there should still be, the dynamic of nigga, I don't give a fuck how much money you make. Like, if it was your mama and your mama and daddy don't care how much money you make. You still my motherfucking son, nigga. And so that dynamic isn't as prevalent in my opinion in these urban neighborhoods because we look at the people who made it out as them ones and they know the way and their way is right. And so even the old heads kind of like fall in line, well, this nigga did get out. He is rich. And I think that says a lot to just like the dynamics in our community and where the young folks got to listen and the old heads got to get off that bullshit and be like, hey, young boy, let me holler at you. And I think that I really, really was just like impressed because Big Bang talked to that nigga like a man. He didn't talk
Yes,
to
he
him like no
did. He
fan.
did.
He didn't
He
talk to
did.
him like a bitch. We are men in this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck about how much money you got. We men, and I'm gonna ask you these tough questions, and I want answers to it, right? And then at the end of the day, I'ma still love on you. I'ma still hug on you. I'ma still big you up. I'ma still give you your flowers because you are a phenomenal man that has built himself up. But in these certain instances, you bullshitting. In this instance, you playing with your blessing. You playing with your second chance. But over here, now I mean, I can still give you love. And that part of the interview, just like that dynamic of the back and forth and where you seen Thug upset and you seen him crying and you seen him really just like wanting to find the answer and Banks just letting him talk. Get your shit out, nigga. And then when you finish, all right, cool. Now we can have a conversation. I just love that
And
dynamic.
that was my favorite part. I give you the space to be vulnerable. I give you the space to truly express yourself because Young Thug was like he said like, damn, I may be fucked up. Like I think that and listen, just like Rashad said, Thug ain't never lied to me, so I'm taking him at his word, face value. This might have been one of the first times, if not the first time, he sat down and thought to himself like, damn, I'm listening to these fucking phone calls back. Like, damn,
I
I
no,
may have
no,
been
I
fucked up.
believe it 100% because that was to me as a person. I like to read body language. He was going and going and going in his head, and you could see in his head him processing that
In
shit
real
in real
time.
time. Like I know what that
Yep.
looked like, especially like because even the tears. Because remember, one of the things I kept asking myself was like, "Damn, he keep bringing up Gunna and his situation to Gunna because that's the shit where the pain point." You get what I'm saying? And he finally,
Mm-hmm.
because Big Bang brought up the Gunna thing, and then he started having questions like, "Damn, I never saw the paperwork, so I don't know if his plea the same as my brother's." Damn, but nah, I'm still mad. So you get what I'm saying? So then it goes from he can't even call me to he never called me and he should have said something, even if I didn't want to hear it. And it's almost like I don't know if you noticed this, Hotep, but as the conversation went on, by the time it was in almost hour 3, he was back to, I'm not willing to forgive you, but I might be willing to hear you. From the beginning, he was
Well,
on that I used to hate this nigga kind of thing. And I think this
yeah,
that is
I
that is
didn't
a
even finish
process
the
thing.
whole
Oh
thing
my
yet.
god, it's
I
good.
didn't
It's
even.
good. You gotta watch to the end. It
I
is
think I
good.
only watched about half of it, like a half so far.
Oh no, that second half, no, you got to because he gets real emotional in the second half. You got to watch
For
it.
sure. And that's what I was saying. So he allows the space to let, Thug speak and shit like that. but also because I respect you the way I do, and because I love you the way I do, and I'm not fanned out like Rashad said. I'm not over here trying to get, clicks or clout from you, nigga. I'm Big Bank, nigga. I'm confident in who I am. I don't need to, glaze you to be able to be in my position, nigga. You wanted to sit down with me because I'm a real nigga from the turf. And so it's like, yeah, I give you your space, but as your OG or as in OG, I'm gonna let you know, bro, you was still on bullshit. I understand where you coming from, but understand, he asked him like, yo, how would you feel outside looking in if you were, you was just on the sidelines, you was just watching the nigga do the same shit you was doing? How would you take this shit? Because he's still, Big Bank has to still keep the frame of, I understand you, but nigga, this is based upon me talking to you. These people, they don't understand why the fuck you was doing that shit. They don't know that you got mental health issues and none of that shit, nigga. They just seen Thugger being a nigga that ain't never did none of this shit, hating on a fucking laundry list of people, Glorilla, Future, Kendrick, all these different fucking people, nigga. Like, do you understand how crazy you look right now, nigga? Like, I'm glad he held him accountable with love.
Go ahead, Mushy. What's the word?
I know, hey, they just laid it out. I guess for people who don't know who Bank is, like Bank is that dude, you know what I'm saying, in Atlanta, he like one of them OGs and shit. And if you look at Bank process, like this was, you know what I'm saying, like he said, he cried when bruh died, you know what I'm saying? Like Bank been through a lot of growing and shit. He done left this shit alone, the streets and shit alone, so he can see it on both ends and shit, you know what I'm saying? Nigga is super, like, bruh used to be in them trenches. So now he on this side. So like, both of them just say, took my points, you know what I'm saying? So I just, when you can have a conversation, you know what I'm saying, as men and get this shit out and see it, cause, you know what I'm saying, like I say, they spun a narrative on this shit. All us was guilty of this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he a rat, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to hear this shit, to have this conversation, they won't know bullshit ass fluff interview, you know what I'm saying? Like Hotep said, like, it was right, it was up. And I had to have a conversation like that before, you know what I'm saying? Like, with one of my niggas. And, you know what I'm saying? We ain't agree on shit, on some shit, but as men, you have to do that shit. And I'm glad that they showed this to the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a problem with your homeboy and shit, bro, just talk that shit out. Y'all ain't gotta agree, I ain't gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot each other, fight each other, none of that shit. Like, but as men, you gotta have those conversations, hold each other accountable at some point, you know what I mean?
Do y'all think that this helped the image, Young Thug's image? Did it put
Yes,
some of the fires out?
100%. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people ain't gonna think so, but if you watch all 3 hours, first off, if you like just being a human, number one, because he gets into his background, his POV. And the biggest thing for me that allowed me to even hear anything that Thug said, he gave no excuses about them phone calls. None. He says, nah, I was tweaking. Like I was in a, like what she mentioned is like, if you know anybody that's ever been locked up like that and they in a 23-1, I mean, just in case no one knows what that means, that's 23 hours isolated, 1 hour out. You think you do that for 3 years and you ain't gonna need somebody to talk to and you kind of get outside your body and outside your mind. I think he was just honest. Like I ain't gonna say here and lie and say I wasn't wilding. I was. I thought I was looking at life in here.